All right, so today we're going to do your Quiz 21 study guide. And in all of these problems, you're asked to simplify the radicals or add, subtract, simplify, or multiply and then simplify. So it's basically a review of what we've done all week. Problem number 1, we've got the square root of 20 plus the square root of 45 minus the square root of 5. All right, so we're going to simplify the square root of 20, and it simplifies to the square root of 9 times, that's not right, that's the square root of 4 times the square root of 5. And the square root of 45 simplifies to the square root of 9 times the square root of 5. And then we're still subtracting 1 square root of 5. So the square root of 4 is a perfect square, and it's equal to 2. The square root of 9 is equal to 3. And now we can simplify. So we take a 2 plus 3, which is 5, minus 1 is 4. And the radical 5 just moves over. So this is our simplest form. Problem number 2. Got the square root of 50 plus the square root of 242 minus the square root of 2. All right, so the 50 simplifies to the square root of 25 times the square root of 2. The square root of 242 simplifies to the square root of 121 times the square root of 2. And this negative radical 2 just falls down. Square root of 25 is 5. Square root of 121 is 11. So we get 5 plus 11, which is 16, minus 1 is 15, and it's all times radical 2. Problem number 3. We've got the third root of 48 plus the third root of 2058 minus the third root of 750. So we're going to break down the third root of 48, and it simplifies to the third root of 8 times the third root of 6. And now, since there was a third root of 6 in this first cube, then it's usually a really good clue to divide the 2058 by 6 and divide the 750 by 6. And it'll save you a lot of time, because what you end up getting is the third root of 343 times the third root of 6 minus the third root of 125 times the third root of 6. And we've got perfect cubes here. The third root of 8, that's equal to 2. The third root of 343, that's equal to 7. And the third root of 125, that's equal to 5. So we had a plus sign here and a minus sign here. So we got 2 plus 7, which is 9, minus 5, which is 4, times the third root of 6. And there's your simplest form. Problem number 4. We got the third root of 1372 plus the third root of 108 minus the third root of 500. All right, so the third root of 1372, that simplifies to the third root of 343 times the third root of 4. The third root of 108 is equal to the third root of 27 times the third root of 4. And the third root of 500 is equal to the third root of 125 times the third root of 4. So we're going to simplify our perfect cubes. Third root of 343, that's equal to 7. The third root of 27 is equal to 3. And the third root of 125, that's equal to 5. So 7 plus 3 is 10, minus 5 is 5, times the third root of 4. And there's your simplest form. All right, problem number 5, or 5 through 8, these are going to be multiplication problems. In problem number 5, we got 7 minus radical 2 times 8 plus radical 2. So we're going to take the 7 times the 8, which is 56. 7 times positive radical 2 is positive 7 radical 2. Negative radical 2 times 8 is negative 8 radical 2. And negative radical 2 times positive radical 2. That's going to be negative radical 4, right? A radical times itself is equal to whatever's under the radical. Radical 2 times radical 2 is equal to 2. But we got a negative radical 2 times a positive radical 2, so that's equal to negative 2. So we're going to combine right here. And we're going to combine right here. All right, so 56 minus 2, that's 54. And 7 radical 2 minus 8 radical 2 is negative 1 radical 2. So there's your simplest form. Problem number 6. -5 minus radical 3 squared. -5 minus radical 3 squared means -5 minus radical 3 times -5 minus radical 3. Multiply it by itself. So our -5 times -5 is 25. -5 times negative radical 3 is positive 5 radical 3. Negative radical 3 times -5 is positive 5 radical 3. And a negative radical 3 times a negative radical 3 is a positive 3. So then we take a 25 plus a 3 and we get 28. And then 5 radical 3 plus 5 radical 3 is 10 radical 3. And there you have it. All right, then we're going to multiply a few binomials by their conjugate. So problem number 7, we got 5 minus radical 2 times 5 plus radical 2. So we take the 5 times the 5 again, which is 25. And then the 5 times radical 2, which is positive 5 radical 2. Negative radical 2 times 5 is negative 5 radical 2. And again, negative radical 2 times positive radical 2 is negative 2. So what happens to the radicals in the middle? Good, they cancel out. And we just combine the 25 minus 2, and we get 23. Problem number 8. Radical 2 plus radical 10 times radical 2 minus radical 10. Radical 2 times radical 2 is equal to 2. Radical 2 times negative radical 10, that's negative radical 20. All right? Keep in mind, both of these numbers are under the radical, so we multiply them and we keep them under the radical. Positive radical 10 times positive radical 2, that's positive radical 20. And then positive radical 10 times negative radical 10 is negative 10. The radicals in the middle cancel. And we end up with 2 minus 10, which is negative 8. And that completes your study guide. So you've got the rest of the period today to finish your electronic assignments, get those submitted, work in the ALEKS app, or if you have all that completely finished, then please be academically productive for another one of your classes.